Not bad at all. Guys, welcome back. This is Eric here with Iraq Veteran 8888. Today we're going to be taking a look at a definitely oddball handgun. It's not something you're really going to see every day. This is a CZ Model 40B, and this pistol definitely takes its lineage from the CZ 75. And this is kind of a quirky area in CZ's heritage that you don't really see a ton of these around. You guys are probably familiar with the 2075 Rami, which is a subcompact 9mm. It's basically takes some of its design lines from this particular pistol. So basically Colt was in a bit of hot water and trying to come up with some new pistol designs to, compete with, a lot of their other people and everything, but they wanted to bring in another gun company to help them with the design. But so they wound up not, wanting to bring in somebody like Smith & Wesson or Ruger, or one of their major, local domestic competitors. So they brought in CZ to help them basically design this handgun. And I think the whole idea is that this was going to be a Colt design, or basically a Colt pistol, but was just going to be made by CZ. And for what I understand, there are, a few examples out there that say Colt on them. I think they're like really rare or whatever at this point. You don't really see a lot of those around. But it's weird because you'll see on the left side of the gun, it'll say Colt, and on the right side of the gun, it says Made in Czech Republic. So how cool is that? So one of those examples of a company taking a design, putting their name on it. They weren't hugely successful, and they really weren't produced that long. From every account that I can find, CZ stopped making this gun around 2000. But if you look at the date on this one, it's dated 2002. So I don't know if they went on to make some more, or maybe if they had some back stock, or whatever the case is. If you guys know, maybe you can tell me. It's pretty much meant to be a commander size gun in terms of the overall size profile of the pistol. It fits the hand really, really nice. It's got some very large and usable sights. Of course, the way that the slide rides on the inside of the frame takes its heritage directly from the 75 line of pistols, obviously. It's a steel slide with an alloy lower. It's double single action. We are empty, but you've got a single action that's not terrible. I wouldn't say the single action is as good as like a nice, CZ 75, because from what I understand, the trigger design on this particular gun is a bit of an outcry from the 75. It's not a traditional 75 trigger system that's in this gun. It's a slightly different setup. However, the double action is very, very, very nice on this pistol. Feels great. The single action isn't bad. It's got a little bit of creep when it breaks. It's nice and clean. The reset is long. I think I was throwing some of my shots there in the intro just because I'm not used to that longer reset. It is a good bit of travel on the trigger. Now, despite that, you have a safety, and it's safety only, so it does not decock the pistol. So it's not decocking safety. So if the hammer's back all the way, safety on, pretty simple. Or you can thumb it just like you would a 1911, and then you're in double action only. You can have the safety off, and the safety will not engage with the hammer down. Very similar to a 1911 in terms of the operation you would expect. The grip angle's not bad. It's got some very comfortable checkering on the front of the grip and the rear of the grip along the mainspring housing. The grips are very comfortable. It is alloy, so you do cut a little bit of weight. And I think this gun just really fell by the wayside to some of the polymer frame guns that were out there. That was the only, big detriment that Colt and CZ were really dealing with. Now, CZ continued to sell this gun after Colt decided, this isn't really working for us. But then CZ quickly dropped this gun from their line after a while. I guess it just wasn't selling well. And I think really this thing was tailored mostly towards law enforcement because it obviously is a 40 Smith & Wesson. You guys know that we do a lot of 9mm handguns here on this channel. We went to the dark side and got a 40. One of the reasons I actually picked up this particular pistol, one, is because they had it up at Moss and it was very inexpensive, so I didn't pay a lot of money for it. And I happened to be in one of the local shops and I picked up a whole bunch of this Winchester Ranger T for like $12 a box for 50 rounds of carry ammo. So I kind of got into the 40 cal ammo for a reasonable price, got into the gun for a reasonable price, and then I got to reading up on them and realized that they're kind of an oddball, rare pistol, so I thought it'd be cool to do a video on it. I'm going to shoot it a little bit more. And I want to tell you something cool about these CZ mags also. When I get one empty, I'll show you. And the gun is shooting to the right a bit for me, and I don't know if maybe the sights are pushed over. I haven't really done much to this gun in terms of adjusting anything on it. We're just sort of letting you guys come along with us on this journey into the realm of the 40. All right, smooth shooter though. I cannot say I'm crazy about the reset on the trigger.
I saw that flinch.
Yeah, well, because I was expecting that trigger to have already broke and it wasn't.
I know.
All right, so these later version of the CZ75 mags, the Metgars that have the blue follower, the cool thing about these mags is they work with 9mm and 40 Smith & Wesson. So if you've already got a CZ75 with these blue magazines, with the blue follower, if you look at the right side of the magazine, it shows the round count for 9mm. Flip the magazine over, up, I ate my words, the CZ mags, flip the mag over and it shows the 40 count. So you got 12 rounds of 40, 17 rounds of 9mm depending on what's in the magazine. So that's cool. If you're already a CZ guy and you've got a CZ75 with that style of magazine, you can pick up one of these CZ40s, shoot 40 cal and not have to buy special magazines. So that was another reason that I really gravitated to this particular pistol. I do need to push the sights on it. Some folks have reported issues with these guns in terms of feeding issues that develop from them. I have not experienced that just yet, but that's not to say that it's not the case. I'm going to cheat over to the left just a scotch. This gun is hitting to the right for me just a bit. Man, I'm gonna tell you something right now. A lot of power, real accurate. I mean, it's not shooting where I'm looking, but it is grouping good. So the accuracy potential is definitely there. One thing I failed to mention earlier, the sights on this are a little bit different than some of the 75s that you're gonna see. You guys probably notice on the CZ75s that they enter from a dovetail kind of from the front. Like they push in from the front into a slot. This just uses a traditional dovetail slot on the front and rear of the pistol. And looks like there's kind of this funky cut back here on the back too that the slide actually interfaces with over the rear. That's definitely a different type of sight that you're gonna see for a CZ. But very cool. I just wanted to share this gun and shoot it a little bit. You know, a lot of our viewers have been asking us to do stuff with 40 caliber. So we figured we'd take a 40 out and have a little fun. All right, I'm gonna try to take my time and group this thing here on this plate. That trigger reset is screwing with my mind. Not a fan of the trigger. Let's try the double action out here. All right, double action. I shoot the dang thing better double action than I do single action.
It's funny, that's usually the case with you.
I'm telling you, it's so weird. What a great double action. Tell you what, I'm gonna try that 35-yard gong back there with the double action. Try our popper there. Double action. I will say, the reach on the trigger's very long. I do notice that as well. It's got a long reach for the trigger. The single action resets with a really long reach on it. I'm not a big fan of that at all. Nailed that gopher. So there's that blue follower. There on the magazine you can see 12 shots, 17 shots. That's kind of cool. I do like that feature. This is a great gun for somebody that, if you're like me and you love CZs, it's great for somebody that loves a CZ. It's great for somebody that already has the CZ 75s that has the blue follower, you know, in the 9mm, and you want to be able to use the same magazines. It's good for that. And, you know, 12 shots capacity, you get a fair amount of capacity. It is a very large gun. The grip is very long on it. It does have some size to it. What kind of niche does it fit into? I mean, it's heavy for a carry gun compared to some of the other options that are out there in terms of polymer guns. So, yeah, I guess it would lose a few points in terms of its weight. Although being an alloy frame, it's not too terrible. It is a fun range pistol. It is quite accurate. The trigger would take a little bit of getting used to for some people. That reset is a little outlandish. I don't have terribly big hands and I don't have terribly long fingers. And I feel like that trigger is just, it seems like it's a long reach. Did you get that feeling earlier when you were shooting it?
Yeah. I think it might just be the grip angle and the thickness of the grip too.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it wasn't very successful. It's just not really a 100% stellar design.
Yeah,
I mean, really care for the trigger
it's
either.
A cool pistol. I do like it. I think it's neat. It is an interesting footnote in, you know, both CZ and I guess you could consider Colt as well. I'm going to shoot one last mag, and we've been running defensive ammo. I mean, we're not running slacker ammo out of this thing. I'm going to shoot one more mag and let you guys get back to your day, but this is just intended to be kind of a cool look at this unique pistol. Hopefully I'm not shooting it too terrible. That double action group is quite good. For a defensive unit, you would definitely be protecting yourself, no doubt. Right now I'm going to defend myself against these watermelon remnants. Oh yeah, it'll do it. All right, Mr. Gopher. I mean, it'll do its part as long as you do your part. And the trigger is definitely not bad. It takes a little bit of getting used to that reset, but not a bad pistol. And man, for what I paid for it, I could not be happier. I think I didn't pay more than about 300 bucks for this thing. So awesome. Anything that says CZ on it you can get for that kind of money, you're probably in a good situation. And the funny thing is, I think they had a used 2075 as well, Rami. Don't go over there, Chad. So, you know, that might be something cool in the future to pick up one of the little Ramis and maybe do a video on it. Guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. We hope you enjoyed it. I know we've got a lot of 40 cal fans here on the channel, and when we did our 40 versus 9mm video, I don't want anybody to think that we were trying to, you know, tick off anybody who's a 40 cal fan. We don't mind 40. We think it's a cool cartridge. So I'm in the 40 mafia now. All right, everybody can quit their complaining now. I'm part of the club now, okay? The 40 cal club. 10mm short and wimpy. Anyway, guys, have a great day. We'll see you next time. Many more videos on the way. Definitely want to take a moment to thank all our Patreon supporters, all the folks who purchase merchandise and t-shirts over on the website. If you purchase man cans to help support the channel, you guys are wonderful. Thank you so much for keeping us going. Y'all are awesome, and thank you for being a viewer. We'll see you next time. Many more on the way.